What happens if you start investing at 20 is honestly kind of insane because most people completely underestimate how powerful time actually is. They think investing only matters once you already have a lot of money, but the truth is starting early matters far more than starting big. Time is what builds wealth, and every year you wait makes the journey harder. Most people in their 20s spend money trying to look successful instead of actually becoming successful. New cars, finance payments, subscriptions, expensive clothes, eating out constantly, upgrading phones every year, random impulse spending, holidays they cannot really afford, and suddenly years disappear while they are still stressed about money. Meanwhile, someone else quietly starts investing small amounts every month into things like ETFs, and over time their entire future slowly changes. And when I say ETFs, I mean investments like the Australian stock market through something like VAS or global ETFs like VGS. These are basically funds that hold hundreds of companies instead of trying to gamble on one stock becoming the next big thing. Instead of trying to predict which company will explode in value, ETFs spread your money across huge groups of businesses. Historically, investments like this have averaged around 7 to 10% per year over long periods of time. Some years are bad, some years are incredible, but over decades, the market has generally trended upward. Now, this is where things become crazy because compounding starts doing the heavy lifting for you. Compounding basically means your money starts earning money, and then that money starts earning money too. At first, it feels slow, almost pointless, but after enough years, it starts accelerating fast. If someone invested just $200 a month into ETFs averaging around 8% yearly returns, after 5 years, they could already have around $15,000. After 10 years, that could become around $36,000, and after 20 years, it could push toward $120,000. And remember, that is from an amount many people spend on takeaway food, subscriptions, and random shopping every month without even thinking about it. Now imagine $500 a month invested consistently into broad market ETFs. After 5 years, that could grow to around $37,000. After 10 years, it could become close to $90,000. And after 20 years, it could be worth nearly $300,000. At that point, the investments themselves start generating meaningful growth every single year. Some years, your investments could grow by more money than you personally contributed. Then there is $1,000 a month. This is where investing early becomes genuinely life-changing. At roughly 8% yearly returns, after 5 years, you could already have around $75,000 invested. After 10 years, that could grow to around $180,000. And after 20 years, it could become almost $600,000, all because of consistency and time. And this is only over 20 years. Imagine if someone started at 20 and continued until 45 or 50. This is why investing early almost feels unfair because time becomes your biggest advantage. The earlier you begin, the less pressure there is later in life because compounding has more years to work for you. The craziest part is most people never start because they think the amount is too small. They think there is no point investing unless they have huge money already, but almost every wealthy investor started small. Nobody wakes up with a 6-figure portfolio overnight. It usually starts with a few $100s, then consistent investing month after month for years. The habit matters more than the amount at the beginning because investing changes the way you think. You stop seeing money as something to instantly spend and start seeing it as something that can buy freedom later on. Every dollar suddenly has 2 choices. Spend it now for temporary pleasure or invest it for future freedom. And that is the part social media rarely talks about. Most people online only show the flashy end result. They show expensive cars, luxury holidays, and huge houses, but they never show the years of consistency behind it. They never show the person quietly investing while their friends were wasting money every weekend. They never show the boring years where wealth was slowly building in the background. Most people want the appearance of wealth without actually building wealth. That is why so many people look successful while secretly living stressed financially. They are trapped by repayments, trapped by debt, and trapped by lifestyles they cannot actually sustain. Meanwhile, the people who quietly invest early often create something much more valuable than status. They create options. Options to work less, options to travel, options to spend more time with family, options to leave jobs they hate, and options to enjoy life without constantly stressing about money. And real wealth is not just about expensive things. Real wealth is freedom. Freedom to wake up without financial anxiety. Freedom to not panic every time bills arrive. Freedom to choose how you spend your time instead of feeling trapped, working endlessly just to survive. The hard truth is most people wait too long because future problems never feel urgent when you are young. Retirement feels forever away and financial stress feels like something older people deal with. But eventually time passes anyway, and people wish they started earlier because time is the one thing you can never get back. The difference between someone who starts at 20 and someone who starts at 30 can literally be hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Not because one person is smarter, but because one person gave compounding an extra decade to work. And honestly, that is why investing early feels like a cheat code. Time does most of the work for you if you are patient enough to let it happen. You do not need to be perfect, and you do not need thousands of dollars to begin. You just need to start, because small, consistent action repeated for years completely changes the direction of your life. And if you enjoy videos about building wealth, improving your mindset, and creating a better future for yourself, subscribe to the channel, because we are building all of this one step at a time.